Let's head to City Hall. Mayor speaking.
Andrew Cuomo is a snake and a liar. I am in this race, and I'm the only one that can beat Mamdani. Andrew has had a career of pushing black candidates out of races. You've heard me say it over again. Carl McCall, Charlie King, David Patterson. This is his career that must stop with me. This city can't go backwards, New Yorkers. This is a city that I inherited, where crime was out of control, COVID, no one wanted to be on our subway system. We watched what happened in housing. The reason people are having these conversations is because I made this city safe. I committed myself and dedicated myself to a city that I love. And I'm going to continue to do that. This polo shirt that I'm wearing that says Eric Adams, Mayor of the City of New York, I'm going to wear that for another 4 years. We can't go backwards. We can't have a city that's filled with encampments like I inherited. We can't have a city where crime and guns are on our streets like I inherited. We can't have a city where unemployment was high across the city, but specifically for black and brown communities like I inherited. While children were not getting a quality education like I inherited. Where low-income people were not receiving the support they deserve like I inherited. What we have done in 3.5 years shows why we have to continue the success we have. I have 2 spoiled brats running for mayor. They were born with silver spoons in their mouths, not like working-class New Yorkers. I'm a working-class New Yorker. They are not like us. They've never had to fight. They never had to struggle. They never had to go through difficult times like you and I had to go through, New Yorkers. This is such a pivotal and important period, and we have to get it right. And so there's a lot of reports that I'm in Washington on Monday. Those reports are wrong. I'm not. I'll be moving throughout this city in the 5 boroughs that made me mayor in the first place. I'm running for re-election, and I'm going to tell New Yorkers every day why I believe I should be the mayor of the city of New York in 2026. And yes, I hear the polls, I hear the comments, I hear the pundits, but those are the same polls that stated 8 weeks out that Andrew Cuomo was up by 36 points. And even his poll had him up by 10 points. Those are the same polls that stated he was going to walk into becoming the mayor of the city of New York, who he believes is a consolation prize because he made the determination to step down. I'm running, and I'm going to beat Mamdani, and I'm going to continue the success that this city has witnessed. And yes, there's many challenges, and yes, I hear it over and over again. It's almost Groundhog Day, folks. How many times have I been told throughout this journey to step aside, to surrender, to give up, to give in? That's the same thing we tell everyday New Yorkers. Everyday New Yorkers are not giving up, are not giving in, are not surrendering. And so the mayor is not going to do that. The voters will determine who's the next mayor of this city. And I will respect the outcome from the voters. I love this city, and I gave this city my all, and I'm going to continue to give them my all every day. And New Yorkers, you'll decide. Do you want a working class mayor that's like you, one who struggled like you, one who lived in poverty like you, one who wondered where your next meal will come from like you? Or do you want 2 individuals who had it all and decided that the elitists would run this city and not a working class mayor? That's the decision.
What are you going to do?
Well, there you have Mayor Adams with his major announcement that he will continue his re-election campaign. Let's get out to our senior political reporter, Henry Rossoff.
Henry, you heard the mayor's announcement right there. He's staying in it. What was the point of this?
Yeah, he seemed really defiant, and I would say that perhaps the point of calling this press conference is to capitalize on all of the attention that he's been receiving lately about whether or not he would stay in the race for mayor, whether or not he would stay mayor at all. As he mentioned, the polls have him way down, not just below Zohran Mamdani, who we mentioned, not just below Andrew Cuomo, who we mentioned, but below Curtis Sliwa, the Republican and independent nominee. So he has all of this attention on him right now, not just because of he's mayor, but because of his political future, and calling this quote-unquote very important press conference to say what frankly he has been saying defiantly for some time now may be his way of trying to continue to make that pitch directly to New Yorkers, because frankly, Candace and Arnie, I did not hear a lot of new things from the mayor just now.
Yeah, he did kind of seem like he was quoting Kendrick right now with saying that Mamdani and Cuomo, that they're not like us. But why did he go about doing this entire press conference and saying that he can come back from the polls? The polls that I'm seeing right now has him around 11% to Mamdani at 37%. Was it just a publicity stunt?
More importantly, as you look at those polls, it kind of informs why we are here. As Andrew Cuomo quite accurately laid out, the former governor just yesterday said, not much of the polling has shown Zohran Mamdani, the 33-year-old Democratic Socialist Assemblyman who won the Democratic primary against him, having a quote-unquote majority of support. He's somewhere between 40 and 50%. So there's wide speculation that if there's consolidation behind one candidate, that someone could emerge. And you arrive at the storyline we've seen this week, where maybe President Trump's getting involved to try and pick off Eric Adams and push out Curtis Sliwa. We already had Jim Walden drop out. But the fact of the matter is that none of the polling has shown whether Adams rises and Cuomo falls and Sliwa slides here and Mamdani moves there. Nothing has shown in any of the polling any vulnerability, real vulnerability for Mamdani, unless someone or multiple people potentially drop out. So those polls, it's not just about where they are. It's about who's best positioned to challenge Mamdani. And right now, this crowded field, Cuomo said it yesterday, point blank, if we all stay in, Mamdani's going to win.
And Henry, before we let you go, the mayor seemed to make a point several times to point out that he is a working class New Yorker that came up from the ranks. Why do you think that he kept repeating that versus his opponents and their backgrounds?
Well, it absolutely is a differentiator, to be fair, from to the mayor. I mean, came up as a blue-collar guy, worked as a police officer, became a police captain, as we all know, lived on the verge of homelessness as a child, raised by a single mother. That's a huge differentiator from a former governor who is the son of a former governor, and Zohran Mamdani, whose parents were well off, his mom, a respectable director, and he went to some elite New York City schools. So it absolutely is a differentiator, and part of his very compelling bio, the large part of the reason he became mayor 4 years ago. So in telling his story and telling his accomplishments, it is a key differentiator for what it's worth in this election.
And Henry, one more thing. You had reporting earlier that Adams still plans to meet with, or was planning to meet with administration folks in Washington, D.C. come next week. Do you think this is the end of it, or the pressure campaign will continue from Trump?
Well, the mayor has always expressed an openness to continue to talk to and work with, when it benefits the city, the Trump administration. So he specifically denied that he was going down for meetings in Washington, D.C. on Monday. He was quite clear about that. But that's not to say that the mayor wouldn't go down for some other reason or go down later in the week. I did notice he was quite specific talking about Monday. Our source reporting is that he would be going down at some point next week to potentially continue those conversations. So he seemed to be refuting someone else's specific bit of reporting. But this mayor, despite coming up as a Democrat and having some misgivings about President Trump initially during his term, has kind of come around and shown a willingness to work with the Trump administration. So I don't think this will be the last time we'll hear reports of him going down to D.C., whether that's in an official or a political capacity.
All right, Henry, we appreciate you breaking it all down for us. And if you were just joining us, Mayor Eric Adams making a major announcement that he will continue his re-election campaign despite any of the other noise and information that is circulating out there.
Yeah, some 59 days until Election Day. I'm sure there will be many more announcements to come. We'll be right back.